In this video, I'm going to break down all the costs associated with buying a home and show you how these can vary depending on location, loan chosen, the seller's situation, and more. Hi there, I'm Erica Parker, your queen of real estate with eXp Realty, and today I'm addressing closing costs. A lot of people have questions about these and what they are exactly and why they're so expensive. But don't worry, I've got your back. I'll break down all of your questions about what these pesky closing costs mean and why they're so important. So if you're in the market for a new house, looking to sell, or just want to know more about it, then stick around. Let's dive in. As your local real estate expert, it's important that you know there are many factors that go into determining how much your closing costs will actually be. First is location. A house in a metropolitan area will generally have higher fees than one in a rural area because a lot more goes into processing a metro property by lenders. Second is the type of loan. You can get loans that are interest only or have a low down payment. These loans tend to have higher origination fees, which cover the cost of processing the loan. In addition, fixed rate mortgages generally have higher closing costs than an adjustable rate mortgage due to the fact that the lender is making more money on the back end of an adjustable rate mortgage. Number 3 is title insurance. While the seller typically pays for the owner's title policy, which is another term that is negotiable and should definitely be negotiated in a seller's market like now, the buyer typically pays for the lender's title policy. It protects the buyer and the lender against losses from problems that arose before they bought the property. The title company will defend you in court if there's a claim against your property and will pay for covered losses. Title insurance is a set fee in Texas and is based on the property's value for the owner's title policy and the loan amount for the lender's title policy. The average home price in Houston, Texas now is currently $395,000. The owner's title policy would cost $2,387. I've attached a link below to allow you to factor your owner's and lender's title policies. Hazard insurance and flood insurance in the case of Houston is another factor. While the cost of hazard insurance is heavily based on a person's credit rating, other factors are taken into consideration such as the age of the structure, the age of the roof, the proximity to a fire station, and the likelihood of flooding. In the Houston area, hazard insurance often does not include flooding and therefore must be purchased separately, sometimes at the lender's behest. The cost of hazard insurance can either be paid prior to or at closing, so it's oftentimes included on the closing disclosure or settlement statement. Although rarely included in the closing disclosures, inspections are also factored in when determining the ultimate cost of a home. The typical general home inspection costs anywhere between $300 and $2,000 in Houston. This is usually based on square footage and the type of inspection firm you use and any add-ons that you include. Appraisals play a factor as well. Very rarely do lenders not require an appraisal on their loan. The fee is usually around $350 to $700, and the appraisal will tell the lender if they think the property is worth the purchase price. If not, it will determine the value by which the lender plans to then loan against the property. That being said, recently artificial intelligence and online data mining have played a big role in lenders being able to waive appraisals or at least giving approval for a loan with sufficient confidence that it will appraise. And then finally, legal fees, recording fees, escrow fees, notary fees, etc. will play a role in the final closing costs. Legal fees can go up depending on the intricacy of the transaction, including whether there are any title problems that need to be cleared up, or if a legal entity is purchasing the property instead of a person. There tends to be a more in-depth review of legal documents by the lender and the title companies, and therefore results in higher closing costs if you're closing as a legal entity. The recording fees vary between counties, escrow fees can vary between title companies, and the notary fees can vary depending on whether you go to the title company's office or if you request a mobile notary, which is usually outsourced by the title companies. On average, these fees are about $500 to $1,000 for both the buyer and the seller. As a side note, and possibly to be expanded upon in a later video, a seller should be aware of other items that will be deducted from their net proceeds beyond the agreed upon realtor commission. The current year's taxes will be prorated out of your proceeds. For example, if you paid $6,000 in taxes last year and sold your house at the end of June this year, $3,000 will be prorated out of your net proceeds and credited to the buyer. In addition, a home warranty reimbursement is oftentimes a negotiating point on the sales contract. On average, the reimbursement amount requested is between $450 to $700. Although it's not often requested in a seller's market, there is a section for sellers' contributions to the buyer's closing costs. This is usually requested by buyers that are receiving a loan with little to no money down and want help covering those closing costs as well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I hope you found this information helpful. If so, please give me a big thumbs up so that the YouTube algorithm will recommend this content to others. Also, if you're interested in more information about buying, selling, investing, or just living your best life in the greater Houston area, please subscribe to my channel and click that little bell so that you'll know the next time I drop a video. If you have any questions specifically to your situation, I would love to chat with you. Just give me a call at 281-222-8259 or shoot me an email at erica.parker@exprealty.com. Until next time, bye for now.